we all know and we've all seen the comments and the remarks and the aftermath of what had happened at the Oscars the other night. It's never okay to demean, put down, or to use someone with a condition, a health condition, and make fun of them, make light of the situation, or even, put it aside as a laughing matter, because it's not a laughing matter. Alopecia has many root causes. It affects us all. It affected me. And as an advocate for the alopecia community, I don't condone this type of behavior, but I also don't condone aggression, assaulting, or any type of violence, really. I don't condone any of that. I don't think that nothing good comes out of it. And I think the biggest takeaway of this situation at the Oscars is that it's put alopecia in the forefront and somewhat in the limelight of there's room for knowledge, there's room for education, there's room for educating not just celebrities, but everyone else out there who is ignorant about alopecia, who is not understanding the whole dynamic of it, whether it's autoimmune or whether it's another root cause. And the situation is a lot bigger than hair. And as someone who's gone through this personally, who helps clients all around the world, including children as young as 2 years old, it's a bigger situation than a joke. It's a bigger situation than what was led on. So this is actually an opportunity to educate more people, to let them see that it's a bigger condition and that it's very individualized as well, because it's not all the same for everyone, and it's definitely has different characteristics for each person as well. At the same token, I know a few weeks ago, there was a young girl who took her life due to bullying in school. I actually had a family friend of hers reach out to me, talking to me about her. And so this is actually how I learned about it. And then, of course, the next day it was out on the news. It was in the newspapers. For those of you internationals, this is a young girl out of the US that this had happened to. She's 12 years old. She had taken her life by suicide because she couldn't, I can't really respond for that, but she took her life and due to alopecia. She was struggling through this. She had a lot of bullying. And this just happened 2-3 weeks ago, probably less actually. And then, of course, now we have the joke at the Oscars. And so it's a compounding effect, how much our community is in the limelight and how much of a need there is to help others who are struggling through it. And I know that personally, I did struggle. And I talk about this openly on my podcast. I talk about this openly on my website. And there is no need to struggle. There is no need to be in pain anymore, emotional, mental, physical pain anymore. And I say this because having gone through it, having healed and reversed alopecia, I can now look back and see that it was all a learning lesson. It was all teaching me what I needed to learn, what I needed to know in order to be my best self, in order to be my healthiest self. And if you don't know me by now, my name is Johanna. I'm from alopeciaangel.com, and this is what I do. This is my life's work. I am helping others to heal and reverse alopecia naturally, because when I was going through the runaround with doctors and with seeing different treatments and different types of medicines and lotions and potions and cortisone shots and this type of thing, none of it worked. And none of it works for my clients either. And it's not an open conversation that doctors are having with us, that the alopecia community is having. It's not an open conversation about how, we're always pushed into conventional medicine. We're always pushed into pharmaceuticals. We're always pushed into, drugs and things that for alopecia in particular do not have any efficacy. They don't work. And the only thing that does, that I found, that I see, not just through myself, but then through my clients, is a holistic, natural way of supporting the body. And this is what I teach. This is what I write about. This is what I talk about. It's become my obsession after healing more than 7 years ago. As you can see, I have my full head of hair. And even after pregnancy, I still have my hair. I still have my health. I still have everything else. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for your children. That's what I want for anyone going through alopecia, is to know that yes, you can heal. Yes, you can reverse this. And to really decipher between the misinformation and to get real, true education about alopecia. Even for those people who don't know nothing about alopecia, including the celebrities, this is an opportunity for everyone to really understand what that education looks like and how to move forward and how to not be a victim, but to be victorious. How not to feel like alopecia is your destiny, but just a stop, a bus stop in your whole journey of life. Because it can really be just a stop. It can really just be a small page, a small sliver of this chapter in your whole life, that you're creating right now. Alopecia is not your destiny. You're not doomed for it. There's so much we can do to empower ourselves, to take our health back into our hands, in your control, in your hands. I've done it. My clients do it. This is what's possible. And I think many times there's a stigma that, alopecia is just hair loss, when it's so much bigger. It really is. It's so much bigger. There's a lot of different components to it. There's a lot of different components to the healing process as well. There's many factors. It's not one size fits all. And this is also very important to take into consideration. But the biggest takeaway is that what's happening, or what happened at the Oscars, what happened with the little girl a couple of weeks ago, is that this should force the alopecia community to open up more, to be more vulnerable, to talk more about it, and to get the correct education, to get the correct tools and solutions, because there is a solution. There are many tools out there. Now, granted, your dermatologists and your regular doctors are not going to want to, offer those solutions, because they didn't offer it to me either. I saw various doctors, just like I'm sure you have as well. None of those solutions are offered. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, because, I see healthcare as a way to help people become better, as a way to get healthier. And the way it's set up like a business. And so I question this a lot. Is the standard of care really for me, or is it really out to get me? I question this a lot, because if the standard of care was so important, was so accurate, then the tools and the medications that are given out should be just the same, and they're not. There's a really low efficacy rate. There's tons of risks and side effects. And if you read my story, you know that I didn't take this route because there are no long-term results. I didn't take this route because it hinders fertility. I didn't take this route because my future self, my future health is so much more important than the present situation, which at the time was alopecia. And again, healing is possible. And in terms of those of you who are suffering in silence or suffering because of bullying, even if you know of a little girl or a little boy or a young adult, or even an adult who's going through this and who is suffering, reach out. Reach out. I'm happy to put you in contact with people who can help you, because it's not just going to therapy or not just speaking to a counselor. You need to create a community of people who can help you in every aspect, because it's not just one thing to get you out of it. It'll take almost like when you have a baby and they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It's in the same vein that I say it'll probably take a village to support the person going through alopecia. And it takes a village, and it takes education, and it takes knowledge. And I say this also from experience, because when I was going through it, my friends didn't know how to talk to me about it. My family didn't know how to help me. No one knew how to support me. No one. And it's very isolating. It's very lonely. And, you know, it was just sheer determination and drive that got me over the hump, that got me over my darkest days, that got me over and off the floor from crying, that got me out of the hole, so to speak. And so this is why I do what I do. You're not alone. There are resources out there for you. You just need to raise your hand. You just need to raise your hand and ask. It's really that simple. And, you know, if you're abroad, if you're in another country, that's okay. There's ways to work around that. If you don't speak English and you speak another language, there's translators out there. There's a solution to everything. There really is. And so a lot of this is understanding that alopecia can be healed and reversed. There's solution to every little problem that you think there is, except for death and taxes, right? That's true. That's true what my grandma says. There's a solution to everything except for death and taxes. So keep heart. Don't allow people to mistreat you or belittle you or put you down because of a health condition or because of alopecia or because of anything else. You are not defined by your health condition. You are not defined by alopecia. Your destiny is not doomed because of it. Just the opposite. This is an opportunity for a sounding alarm for us to do something, to take action, to move forward in a better way, to do something for our health, to perhaps look at alternative solutions, to perhaps uncover what we've been in denial about, or to just uncover what we didn't know existed before. And for many people, including families, this is also very surprising when they start to see their blind spots. I talk about blind spots in my podcast. I talk about it in my blog. I talk about it quite often, especially on my website, alopeciaangel.com. Again, if you're suffering in silence, reach out. We're here to help. We can connect you with resources. We can connect you with people to help you get over this hump. No one should be struggling or sad or depressed, anxious, uncertain, because there's so much we can do to help ourselves and to take control of our hair and our health. There's so much. And this is what I'm all about, because having gone through it, having lost over 50% of my hair, having suffered as much as I did for 3 years, and I'm sure many of you have been suffering for way longer, I'm telling you, you can stop this all now and turn this around. You really can. And I'll leave you with understanding that there's going to be always negative people out there, and it's just up to us to educate them and to use it as an opportunity to bring forth better knowledge and, you know, to disassociate ourselves from the negativity and look and move towards the positivity and towards the optimism that's out there. We can choose what we feed ourselves, whether that's through TV, you know, through music and through any other outlet. You can either get towards or move towards the negativity or move towards the positivity. And this is what I hope to aspire to, is more positivity, more optimism in this community. Because ever since I got alopecia, I only saw negativity. It was just a doom and gloom. It was just a victim mentality. It was many, many bitter people in forums, no love, no support. And even if there was somebody in these forums that said, oh, hey, I have, my full hair growth, they would be bombarded like, oh, wait and see, it'll fall back out. Oh, wait and see, this will happen. And it was just more negativity. We don't need that. We need more positivity. We need more beacons of light. And it all starts with each of us. And just like Mahatma Gandhi said, if you want to see change in the world, we need to be that change first. So I invite you to be that change. I invite you to be more positive. And it starts with yourself. It starts with the positive self-talk. It starts with the positive actions. More optimism towards you, your family, your loved ones, your friends. And be, more optimistic, more positive about what's possible for you. Because really, once you know the tools, once you have the education and the knowledge, the step-by-step approach, everything is possible. You can reverse this. So I invite you to uplift your souls, uplift your mood, and you can follow me on alopeciaangel.com. Up at the top, you can see success stories. You can see success stories from adults, women, men, and children alike who have reversed their alopecia, from alopecia universalis, alopecia totalis, alopecia areata, diffuse, telogen effluvium, androgenetic, all different types of alopecia. And I love looking at these success stories because it's my calling. It's my life's work. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you know someone who's struggling, or if you yourself is struggling with alopecia, please reach out as well. We're happy to connect you with the right resources, and understand that you're not alone. And this is just a stop in the big picture of life. This is just one pit stop. And you can choose whether you stay at this bus stop or if you continue to move forward. Really, the control is all in your hands. It really is. Take care. Talk to you soon.